Never underestimate the unclawed, for a single kick is enough to push a predator to the brink of death. Is it believable that a speedy killer like a cheetah could fall with its chest shattered by a counterattack from its own prey? The deadly kick. A 1,000-pound counterattack that ripped apart the hunter's chest. Under the scorching desert sun, where survival is measured by speed and deadly pounces, the ostrich appears as a tempting but challenging target. In the eyes of bloodthirsty predators, those long legs serve only for escape. However, that is the most deadly mistake a hunter can make. When cornered, this giant bird will no longer flee. It will stand, face the attack, and unleash its secret weapon, honed over millions of years of evolution. This wasn't an ordinary escape, but a deadly trap. Hidden beneath its somewhat naive appearance was an extraordinary muscular physique and razor-sharp claws. Few would suspect that the ostrich possessed a kick of immense force, capable of shattering the bones of a beast in a single breath. The hunter thought victory was assured, but the cruel reality would completely reverse the situation, turning a hunt into a shocking death sentence. Amidst the desert dust, the cheetah unleashed its full speed, closing the distance to its target in a matter of seconds. Confident in its strength as the apex predator, it prepared for the decisive pounce, unaware it was charging straight into its death trap. Just as the distance was within inches, the ostrich suddenly stopped, gracefully spinning in the midst of the swirling dust. Just as the cheetah was soaring into the air, a sharp whoosh ripped through the space. Steel legs shot out with immense force, embedding themselves directly into the opponent's chest. The dry, cracking sound of bones echoed in the silent space. The speed-seeking assassin had no time to react. The terrifying power of the direct kick shattered the enemy's ribcage, sending the great hunter flying like a rag. A tragic end for the one who considered himself the Lord, yet fell before a creature without fangs or claws. The dust settled, leaving a chilling silence. The cheetah lay there, its breath cut short, its bones shattered, a heavy price for its carelessness. The ostrich simply shook its feathers, continuing its proud stride under the scorching sun. The most fearsome weapon lies not in its teeth, but in the frenzied resistance of a cornered creature. Do you dare underestimate this king of running anymore? After hours of life and death, the desert restores to the giant birds a peaceful silence to fulfill their most sacred mission, perpetuating their species. Shedding the ferocity of a gladiator, the male ostrich begins its mesmerizing mating dance, spreading its wings like a vibrant velvet carpet to invite its mate. An alliance is formed, and in the heart of the hot sand, the enormous eggs, symbols of new life, are laid down under absolute protection. For 42 days and nights, the male ostrich transforms itself into a devoted guardian. Under the scorching sun of the day or the bone-chilling cold of the desert night, it almost never takes its eyes off the nest. This patience is a harsh test of willpower, as it must use its massive body to regulate temperature and protect the tiny seeds of life from the harshness of nature. A new day dawned. And then, a miracle occurred. The first cracks tore through the hard shell, and a faint chirping sound signaled the birth of a new generation. The young ostriches, with their soft, downy feathers, stepped out into the world one by one, bewildered, sheltering in the shade of their father's steel legs. This was when fatherly love surged most powerfully. The father ostrich not only taught his offspring how to find food, but was also always ready to spread his large wings to protect his young from the dusty winds or the greedy gazes of predators lurking in the distance. However, the scent of new life never escaped the keen senses of the most opportunistic creatures of the savanna, the hyenas. They appeared like cunning ghosts, not attacking directly but using tactics of encirclement and division, hoping to find a weakness to steal the tender lives. The brief period of peace officially ended, giving way to a more brutal battle to protect their home than ever before. At this moment, the ostrich father was no longer a gentle father, but a true rage in the wilderness. Hyenas began a wheel-and-turn battle, constantly shouting and circling to distract the ostrich father. Their savage laughter echoed across the desert, creating immense psychological pressure. They waited for a single moment of vulnerability to pounce and steal the giant's offspring. But the pack of thieves underestimated a father's instinct. When a hyena, the alpha, recklessly lunged forward, intending to use its steel-hard teeth to seize a young ostrich, the father could no longer stand still in defense. It erupted like a volcano. With its wings spread wide, creating a menacing black shadow, it charged straight into the heart of the pack of predators. Each stride was a shock, each turn a lightning bolt. A hyena, unable to dodge, took the full force of a kick to the side. The crisp sound of breaking bones echoed amidst groans of pain. The ostrich father didn't stop. He relentlessly pursued, using his immense weight to crush any sinister intentions. His ultimate rage transformed the king of running into an invincible fighting machine, sweeping the hyena pack from his territory in the blink of an eye. As the dust settled, the cowardly hyenas scurried back into the shadows of the acacia trees, bearing wounds they would never forget. The ostrich father slowly returned to his nest, gently using his beak to herd his cubs under his warm wings. Under the fiery red sunset, his towering figure silhouetted against the horizon like a monument to courage. It turns out that the most fearsome weapon of this bird lies not only in its steel-like legs that can tear through a hunter's chest, but in its heart, ready to sacrifice everything to protect the next generation. A new life cycle begins, stronger and more resilient than ever. Do you feel fear before this fury? Or are you moved by the great fatherly love of the wilderness? Please, leave your thoughts in the comments below. But the greatest challenge of the desert is not just the fangs, but the depletion of water. When the last pools of water evaporate under the scorching sun, the father ostrich is forced to make a life or death decision, leading his chicks across hundreds of kilometers of burning sand to reach the great river. This is a journey where every step is paid for, with sweat and unwavering determination. Under the 45 degrees Celsius sun, the space vibrated with mirages. The young ostriches began to tire, their tiny legs wobbling on the scorching ground. At this moment, the father ostrich became the only lighthouse. It continuously emitted deep, guttural sounds to keep its cubs from getting lost, using its massive body to create short stretches of shade whenever it stopped. But the real tragedy only began when their journey intersected with the territory of the supreme ruler, the lion. In a barren oasis, the figure of a cunning and experienced lion appeared. It had been observing the ostriches for a long time. For the lion, ostriches were not an easy target, but the hunger of the dry season had made it reckless. A lion weighs twice as much as an ostrich, and with just one pounce, the chest of any creature would be shattered. The lion began to accelerate. The heart of the desert seemed to stop beating. The ostrich father realized the threat. Instead of fleeing and leaving his cubs to become prey, he did the unthinkable. He charged straight towards the Lord. A classic scenario unfolded amidst the dust. The ostrich father spread his wings wide, letting out terrifying screams to intimidate. As the lion lunged to deliver a 1,000-pound slap, the ostrich father unleashed his ultimate weapon. This kick was no longer a passive counterattack like with the cheetah, but a furious blow to the enemy's face. His sharp claws dug straight into the lion's shoulder, the impact so strong that the thick-maned giant froze in shock. A breathtaking chase ensued. The ostrich used its height and agile legs to dodge the deadly pounces, while continuously delivering powerful warning kicks. The father's tenacity and courage created an impenetrable wall of fire. Surprised by the fierce resistance and the pain from the vicious kicks, the male lion began to hesitate. In the natural world, a serious injury means death, and the lion understood that the creature before it was willing to die to protect its cubs. It let out a mournful roar and retreated into the bushes. The young ostriches continued their journey, safe under the majestic shadow of their father. The journey to find water was still long, but after repelling the king of the jungle, it seemed no obstacle could stop this great father's progress any longer. Overcoming the clutches of the king of the jungle and the scorching heat, the ostrich father proved that the greatest strength lies not in dominating power, but in the will to protect his bloodline to his last breath. The epic tale of the running king concludes under the glorious sunset, where sacred fatherly love triumphs over the harshest laws of the wilderness. Are you impressed by the unparalleled courage of this great father? Leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next legends.
In the thick, cold snow, the grizzly bear did not stop. A battle is coming. There is no room for hesitation. Yellowstone. The battle between the giant grizzly bear and the wolf pack. Yellowstone. The legendary land lies across 3 western states of the United States. This is not only the world's first national park, but also one of the most pristine and harsh ecosystems left. With endless grasslands, snow-capped pine forests and bubbling hot springs that seem to breathe from the ground. But hidden behind that spectacular scenery is a world of uncompromising survival, where warriors coordinate like a hunting machine, always lurking for an opportunity. Here, nature has never been gentle. Every day is a new chapter in the battle for survival, where only the strong, the smart, or the connected can continue to walk through the frozen wilderness. Amidst the deep snow-covered forests and the desolate mountainsides, a massive figure silently appears. No need for roars or fanfare. Grizzly bears. The living symbol of the North American wilderness. With a muscular body that can weigh up to 350 kilograms and a thick coat of grey-brown fur covering its body, grizzly bears are masters of adaptation in the harsh world. Their large, broad paws and curved claws, up to 10 centimeters long, help them dig, climb, and deliver deadly blows. Despite their somewhat slow appearance, grizzly bears can accelerate up to 56 kilometers per hour, making it difficult for any prey to escape. Their sense of smell is exceptionally developed, many times that of hunting dogs, allowing them to detect food or carcasses from several kilometers away. Grizzly bears are omnivores, but they are not easy eaters. They can dig roots, hunt salmon, hunt insects, scavenge for carrion, or take down large animals such as moose, reindeer, or bison calves. Salmon. The migratory blood of northern rivers. Born in clear freshwater streams, they drift out to sea, then after many years of crossing the vast ocean, return to the same place where they were born to reproduce. Their bodies are long and slender, covered with silvery scales. When the breeding season comes, the skin gradually turns brick red, the head is dark black, and the body becomes stronger than ever. They have to cross rapids, swim upstream, jump over rocks, and overcome strong currents. The journey of life and death is only to maintain the next generation. But that journey is not only a race with the water, but also a game of death for ambush hunters. On a riverbank in Yellowstone, where the water is murky and foaming white as thousands of salmon compete to get ahead, a grizzly bear stands on a slippery, wet rock. The wind carried a fishy smell, making its nostrils flare. The shimmering light under the water reflected every movement of the salmon, struggling to climb the rapids. Each flick of the tail was like a flash of silver in the turbulent water. The massive forelegs, heavy but perfectly poised. The sharp curved claws just inches above the water, like a deadly trap. A red flash shot up. The salmon leaped out of the water to climb the small waterfall. The grizzly charged. prize struggled in its mouth, silver glinting in the water. The grizzly's hunger was satisfied. In late spring, when the ice melted, the mating season began. After a challenging mating period, the female bear became pregnant with a special mechanism that allowed the eggs to develop only when environmental conditions were favorable. Nine months later, in the quiet of winter, the cubs were born. Tiny, blind and frail, they weigh only a few hundred grams but thrive on the warmth of their mother's milk and fierce protection. For the first few years, their mother is the only world they know, their refuge and their shield between life and danger. On the steppe, when the breeding season has just passed and meals have returned to normal, a figure quietly appears. Small but extremely cunning. It is slow, confident and completely fearless. It is a wolverine. A muscular body with thick, shaggy brown fur, small eyes but shining with stubbornness and recklessness. Although only as big as a medium-sized dog, wolverines possess a fearless spirit. They are often solitary, wandering dozens of kilometers a day through snowy forests and mountain slopes, sniffing for carcasses or stalking to steal prey from much larger animals. Sharp teeth and powerful curved claws allow them to tear flesh, even biting through the stubborn skin of tough prey. They live by the strict rules of the wilderness. An individual's territory can be extensive, and they will mark it with a distinctive scent. This animal does not call for a mate with loud sounds, but through traces, dense scent trails. Another creature appears near the riverbank, quiet and diligent. American beaver. The silent architect of streams in the northern hemisphere. With a stout body, about 74 to 90 centimeters long, and a thick, smooth, dark brown coat that helps them withstand the harsh cold. The American beaver is an expert in building and managing the habitat. The pair of flat, paddle-shaped, scaly tails not only help balance when swimming, but also flap to warn others when danger is near. A natural builder, beavers create huge dams from trees, branches and mud, forming still water pools for their dens and food reserves. With a communal spirit, beavers live in families, usually an adult pair with their young, protecting, building dams and storing food together. They eat mainly bark, young branches and aquatic plants, using sharp incisors to cut wood and transport it back to their dens. It not only changes its own habitat, but also creates rich wet areas, contributing to the maintenance of the surrounding ecosystem. However, in this vast wilderness, there is more than just the peace of the river. Farther away, on the snow-covered hillsides and the yellowing grasslands, another force is quietly moving. Not alone. Not hidden. They hunt with strategy and cold coordination. The grey wolf. They have thick silver-grey fur mixed with black, erect ears and cold yellow eyes. Their muscular bodies, long legs and confident steps show outstanding flexibility in all terrains, from steep mountain slopes, open grasslands to deep frozen forests. Grey wolves are pack animals with a tight social structure. A pair of alpha wolves are usually the only breeders in the pack, taking on leadership roles in both hunting and defending territory. Mating season begins in late winter. After 60 to 65 days, the female wolf will give birth to 4 to 6 cubs in a discreetly dug den. As masters of tactics, grey wolves do not take down their prey alone. The prey of grey wolves are not only small creatures, but can be those weighing several hundred kilograms. But for them, size is not a barrier, but a challenge to affirm the true solidarity and capacity of a top hunting pack. And on an early morning, when the dew was still on the wild grass, the grey wolves began to move. In front, the bison herd was moving. Bison. The majestic symbol of the North American prairie. They are one of the largest mammals on this continent. Standing up to 2 meters tall, weighing more than 900 kilograms, their massive bodies are covered with thick dark brown fur, especially thick on the shoulders and neck, creating a sturdy appearance like living armored vehicles. The curved horns grow from both sides of their heads, helping them defend and fight during the mating season. Bison live in herds, sometimes up to hundreds, often moving non-stop across the prairie in search of fresh grass and water. They have a strong defensive instinct, especially when protecting their calves. which are usually born in late spring, after a gestation period of about 9 months. Although they appear slow, when threatened, bison can accelerate to nearly 50 km/h and are ready to fight to the end. In the Yellowstone ecosystem, they are not only symbols but also vital targets for predators such as grey wolves. Where every encounter is a test of strength and survival. Under the thin mist that covers the Yellowstone prairie, the air seems to freeze. All sounds seem to be swallowed up, only the wind blowing gently through the dry grass and the heavy breathing of the hunters. The grey wolves spread out in an arc shape, each individual gliding gently in absolute silence, like grey shadows hiding in the weak dawn light. In the center of the pack, the leader wolf stopped, his cold eyes locked on the target ahead. In just a few minutes, the hunt was over. The unfortunate bison fell, prey to the wolves. The bison fell before the perfect strategy of the wolves. In the wild, even the mightiest of creatures cannot stand alone against the bond and ruthless instincts of nature. As blood soaked into the snow and howls echoed through the forest, nature did not choose sides. In Yellowstone, every creature was part of a cruel cycle where one's death was another's life. And tomorrow, who knows, the wolves might be the underdogs again. As the sunlight filtered through the canopy, the old forest was bathed in a dim light. The sound of snow cracking under the hooves mingled with the silent cries of the hidden creatures. In the silence, a soft sound rang out. The sound of claws pounding lightly, steady and sure. The grizzly appeared, walking calmly, through the woods with a dark, muscular body. It was foraging, silently but alertly. The low bushes shook slightly as its thick claws scratched through, searching for what was left. Suddenly there was a strange sound, very soft. But enough to stretch the entire large body. The grizzly raised its head. Then, from deep in the forest, Grey shadows began to appear among the pale white mist. The pack of wolves slowly walked forward. There were many of them. They were in no hurry. Each step was a calculated step. Its muscular body stood still, like an old rock in the middle of a deep forest, but inside it was a stream of energy as taut as a string. The tension was intense. In the moment, the leader gave the command. The two sides charged at each other. A bloody battle on the cold snow. In the blink of an eye, the forest turned into a battlefield burning with instinct. Where there was no right or wrong, only survival. And when the snow settled, nature was silent as if there had never been a war. But in the heart of the old forest, another fierce chapter had just been written. Under the cold canopy of Yellowstone, there were no absolute winners. There were only creatures that constantly fought to survive. The grizzly bear, though solitary, fierce, was resilient. The grey wolf pack was united, flexible, and strategic. Two symbols of strength, of the desire to survive, engraved in every breath of this wilderness. Their confrontation was not just a fight for food, but a naked exposure of instinct, of the immutable laws of nature. And only the strong can move on. And it is from these battles that Yellowstone continues to beat. Fierce, wild, but majestic. If you are fascinated by the brutal beauty and battles in the wilderness, subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell to not miss the life and death battles, the inspiring moments of survival. Where life always finds a way to continue.